In where we left off from the morning session, which is, any questions? From the morning session before we begin the midday session. Some of you probably have some questions. And if the children that are making a lot of noise can do that somewhere else, that would be really nice. Go ahead. Just speak without, because they're going to take their time.
Maharaj,
Go ahead.
I was trying to understand this indication of taking responsibility.
Okay.
So the part that I understand very clearly is that it means that I try to reflect that this is because of my own choices or my own karma, past karma, and then I don't blast out onto someone else or to something external, but then in that mode of
acceptance of responsibility.
Yeah, I try to sense that what constructive steps I can take. I was wondering that is there something more practical to it, or does taking responsibility means this only?
No, there's more practical doesn't. That's, I think, I'm uncomfortable with that choice of words. That's just part. It's put on the brake pedal and don't go into passion ignorance mode, go into the mode of goodness mode. That says, whatever is happening to me at the moment or over the past period of time, I take responsibility for whatever it is that triggered that which is coming my way now. We'll see another slide later that says events that happen in your life that's connected or tied to karma, and how you respond to those events is tied to guna. So, it's just a starting point to say, whatever is coming my way today or the recent period of time, it's an instrument, it's an indication of something back there. And it's not easy to understand what that something back there is, and it's not so critical to know what that something back there is that's causing something here today, because it's very complex. And there may be multiple contributing factors to what's happening to me today. All I'm saying with that is, some people say, oh, it's not fair. Or how am I to learn the lesson from the past if I don't know what the past is that's causing today? You know, whether you know or you don't know. It's very complex. And then just accept in principle. Something back there is causing something today. Now that's Yas Tvindra Gopam Atravindra Mahosva Karma Bandhanurupam Palabhajanam Atunoti Karmani Nirdahitu Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhaj. So it's a different set of rules, the Bhakti Bhajam rules, which may be that something unfortunate is happening today or in the recent while. That's Govinda's direct mercy. You know what that teaching is. The teaching, Bhakti Siddhanta explains, it's Govinda is helping me to burn at the very root, through the fire of ordeal, at the very root, the cause of my fruitive activities to begin with, in principle. And that cause is nescience, that's ignorance of who I really am, forgetfulness of who I really am and accepting who I'm not to be who I really am, and burning at the root that cause. And he adds, and evil desires. So evil desires means asat trishna, the anchor. That which brings us and that which keeps us here. So it's a different set of rules for the devotee. But even for the devotee, it may be a little tap in comparison to what should be coming karma-wise. Anyway, so a short answer to your question is, no, that's not all. And it's very complex. The subject is complex, but it's a starting point. As opposed to the problem is out there, the problem is in here. And I take responsibility for the problem that's in here, that's coming to me today in the form of an instrument of my past activity from the past, is therefore my karma. That's just a starting point. And then there's complexity following that, including the choices that we may want to make. I may choose to deal directly with the stone that hit me. I may choose to deal with the emotion that was the result of that stone that hit me. I may choose to just make my connection with Krishna stronger and tolerate, etc. You make a long inventory list of possible responses, but you become responsive in a reflective mode without blaming the instrument. That's just a starting point. Somebody else? Questions from this morning's discussion?
Maharaj, regarding your direction that we should take our thought if we have mistreated someone or hurt someone or somebody else did it to me.
Yeah.
When I reflect, there are many instances which is.
Yeah.
So when I reflect, it often happens with me that my elements of destructions comes out with people who are close to me than to people who are distant from me.
Yes.
Like it doesn't come out with outsiders, it comes more with people who are close to me.
That's natural. Imagine if you were a family relative of Donald Trump. Don't think about it too much. It's a whole other thing that he's a monster, or whatever. He's a bully, and he's abusive, but if you lived in his family, gosh. So, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I don't know how somebody can be a fan of Donald Trump, but they make their choices too. Modes of nature. So, it's natural that will be the person's close to you.
But that should not happen because...
Well, it shouldn't happen, but it does happen. There's lots of stones on the walkway between here and the ashram where I'm staying. Supposing there's a stone in my shoe. I'm much more aware of the stone that's in my shoe than the stones that are on the path between here and the ashram. Although there's lots of stones. It's rubbing against me because of that proximity. And, so many other things. I have expectations of those that are close to me. Those that are further away, I don't have expectations. And there's other factors. I see those persons close to me as meant for fulfilling some of my needs. That's their purpose, their function. to fulfill my needs. And if they're not fulfilling my needs, I'm irritated because they're supposed to fulfill my needs. Now, that's not the reason that they exist, to fulfill your needs. So it's partly an expectation, but it's a conception of what a relationship is. The other persons I don't have a relationship with, and therefore they're not meant for fulfilling my needs. It's similar to expectation, but it's, it just has to do with proximity. Okay? Yeah. Do we have the portable microphone? Can you pass it over there?
Guru Maharaj,
Slowly, please.
here in our class, the cause of service is reaction. So many things has given, like pride and so on. So as long as this body is there, we have to struggle. But Guru Maharaj order is also there. So
What is also there?
Guru Maharaj instructions to follow. Some of the instructions to follow.
Instructions to follow. Okay.
So the one way is struggle. One way is struggle. One way is, on the other hand, we have an order. So how to balance and continue the being.
How to balance?
How to continue still in this turbulence?
In 3 words: acceptance and progress.